All right, welcome back to the channel. Today I really want to discuss my LSAT process. I feel like, again, as a first gen law student and a law student of color at that, I feel like a lot of people give advice that I felt like didn't really apply to me when I was going to school. I mean, once I found out all of the things I wanted in a law school, you know, it kind of gave me a lot of anxiety seeing everybody talk about, oh, my goal is, oh, I'm trying to get a 170, or, oh, I got a 173. Let me show you how I did this. And they took all this time studying. And I felt like for me, I didn't have that time for one, but also I just kind of wanted to give an example of what an unconventional way is. And I do not condone this. I would prefer if you didn't do this, but I'm just telling you that it all worked out for me, and this is why I'm making this video today. For me, I was working on my job at a nonprofit. I was kind of becoming unhappy with it, and I legit just woke up one day and was just like, I'm done. I think I'm gonna go to law school. I didn't know really what that entailed at all, but I knew I had to take the LSAT. So I blindly signed up for the LSAT. That was gonna happen 2 weeks from the time that I decided. Yeah, very different. I probably wouldn't recommend that to anybody. So I lightly studied. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sign up for a study aid, but I just didn't have the knowledge that all of the stuff costs money. Yeah, I realized that there weren't that many free options. There really weren't any. So I did the Khan Academy, I think it was for the 2 weeks. And I didn't know anything about the LSAT. Like, I knew the sections and what was going on. But in terms of just the rigor of it, people say, oh, it's really difficult. But they say that the entire time you're in school, right? So for me, I just wanted to try it out. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna do my best. I did a few practice problems. Let's just see what happens. And it showed when I got my grade back. And I'll put it right here, what my first LSAT score was. And so, yeah. So I got my first LSAT score back. I kind of decided, okay, let me take some time and study for it. And my version of that was taking 8 weeks. I had some military stuff going on, and I was going to go off to a school for the summer, and I really wanted to go the next year. I just knew I didn't have the time. I got, I think LSAT Demon is the name of it, and I just went super hard for 8 weeks. Again, I don't recommend it. So I really started doing the practice problems heavy. I implemented the practice tests because there was so much more available because I started paying for the study aid. And I knew that I could really only afford 2 months of it or so. So I knew I only had enough money for about 2 months worth of LSAT Demon. I forgot the price of it, but I knew I only had about 2 months or so. I bought the month-to-month plan, and I just gave it a lot of time doing practice tests, doing the practice questions, seeing the types of stuff that I was getting wrong. And I walked in 8 weeks later, and I retook it, and I raised my score by, I think, about 11 or 12 points. I'll put my score right here. And again, this isn't the best score at all. I'm nowhere near, the top of performers, especially the people that post on YouTube. I really wanted to show an example of someone who didn't get the perfect score necessarily. It all worked out, right? It all worked out for me. I got what I wanted. I got the school that I wanted. And yes, we will probably discuss me going to a lower ranked school soon. As a first gen student and the things that I wanted to do, I just didn't really prioritize getting a 170 on the LSAT. I really wanted to get good enough, and I knew I didn't have the money to keep paying for LSAT tests, the study aids of dollars in the months that people put into it. I just knew that that wasn't going to fit me. And so again, I just really wanted to show and talk about an example of somebody who didn't necessarily do what I see a lot of people do on social media or online. I hope that this helps a little bit, maybe ease your mind a little bit. But if you have any questions for me, comment, like, subscribe. Please subscribe to my Substack, show some love to that. Thanks for watching, and until the next time.